Welcome back. This is class 3 of Building Emotional Understanding, and this is segment 4. And I want to introduce to you a proactive listening tool. This is a listening tool you don't have to wait for your child to come up with a situation to use. This is a tool that is actually sort of deceptively simple and very powerful. So it's called Special Time, and what Special Time is that you tell your child that you're going to be doing whatever they want to do for X amount of time, and you tell them when this is going to happen so they can anticipate it. It really helps if children know when special time is going to happen, and if they can kind of look forward to it and have a chance to think about it. With little babies and 2-year-olds who don't yet have a sense of how time works, you do this anyway. You know, sweetie, I'm going to have special time for you in 15 minutes, even if it's a little baby. Just because you don't want to underestimate the intelligence that's operating there. And when the appointed time comes, you try to leave your exhaustion and your preoccupation with the shopping and the dinner and the other children behind as best you can. And you say, okay, you know, here's our 15 minutes of special time. I'll do anything you want to do. What would you like to do? What happens then is that you're giving the reins of the relationship to your child, and they get to decide what to do. And during special time, the deal is that you give your child 100% of your attention. You don't multitask during special time. You know, you don't, if they want to play Candyland on the carpet, on the floor in the living room, you don't play Candyland and then notice the little pieces of lint and pick them over here and, you know, put them in a little place. You know, you don't play Candyland and after, 10 moves, honey, I need a cup of tea, I'll be right back. You do not do that. You pick an amount of time and a time of the day or evening that works for you to give your all to connecting with your child. And your child is choosing something to play and playing it, choosing something to do with you and doing it. But what you're doing is concentrating on connecting. It's like whatever the play vehicle might be, you're trying to play enthusiastically, but you're really looking for more eye contact, you're offering more eye contact, you're offering more physical contact than you usually do, more physical affection. You're offering a warm tone of voice, and you're offering your enthusiasm. So if you've got a 7-year-old boy and you want to do special time and he wants to go out and practice playing catch or practice catching grounders, you go out there, and when he throws the ball past you accidentally, you don't sort of turn around and kind of go, okay, and walk to pick up the ball like that. You run after the ball, you pick it up, you go, hey, let me see if I can throw it from here. And you throw it. You know, you really put your time and your energy into being with your child and pleased and pleased and pleased with them. So if there's laughter, you promote that laughter as best you can. So if you throw the ball and you were trying to throw it really big and it dropped out of your hand accidentally and landed right in front of your toes, and your 7-year-old child laughs, you pick up on that laughter and you go, oh my gosh, look what I did. You pick up the ball and you try to throw it again, really big, big cartoon of, big person trying to throw the ball, and you let it fall again and it dribbles in front of your toes again. And they'll laugh and laugh and laugh. And they go, Mommy, come on, you could throw the ball. And maybe you throw the ball successfully that time, but you find other times to throw it unsuccessfully and let them laugh and laugh and laugh. Let them have the upper hand. Let them be the smart ones and the competent one and the one who knows what's going on. And if they're laughing because you made a little goof, make that goof again. We'll talk more about promoting laughter in play listening in a couple more weeks. But right now, if there's laughter that doesn't involve tickling, promote it. Do that again. See if you can string out the laughter and make it happen more. And what you're wanting to do is increase your child's sense that they are close and connected with you. Increase your child's sense of your delight. And special time, almost unfailingly, increases your child's sense of emotional safety. It's a very powerful tool for telling your child, I care. And it's actually a very powerful tool for telling a person of any age, I care. Just, I'll do what you want to do, what would you like to do? It's a very powerful concept. What a gift. It's the fuel that children need, this attention that is uninterrupted, that is relaxed, that's really all about your delight in them. It's exactly what children need to function at their best. So, some examples of special time. I know one mom whose baby was about, 6 months old, and there's an older brother in the family who's wishing that he got, all of this, loving cradling and cooing, but he's 4 and he's not getting it so much since the baby was born. And somehow in their special time, actually I don't know the details of how it evolved, but I think the mom was holding the baby during special time because that was the only way that she could keep the baby from interrupting things. And so this was her best version, not quite a full version of special time, but her best version. She said, "I'm right here and I'll do whatever you want to do. What would you like to do?" And he looked at her from across the bedroom, and she's sitting on the bed, and he ran at her and bowled her and the baby over, And she could protect the baby, so she just went, "Woo!" And he laughed and laughed and laughed. And the baby was fine. It's like, baby was kind of amused by the whole thing. So she sat up and she goes, "Gee, I hope that doesn't happen again. I don't know what hit us. And he runs back to the edge of the bedroom and he runs at her again. It's like, "Woo!" And actually she wound up spending like 5 or 10 minutes every morning with him doing, this not quite full version of special time so that he could bowl them over for 5 or 10 minutes. And she said their mornings would go so much more smoothly if he got special time where he could, sort of show her this aggression in a really safe and fun way and laugh and laugh and laugh every time she rolled over and then crawled back up and went, "Oh man, I don't know what hits me around here. Must a big wind or something?" And she'd act really kind of, clueless about it, and his powerful self would knock her over again. Another example of how special time works. Sometimes parents, when children come home for school or daycare, parents want to know, what happened today? What did you do in school? And children rarely talk. They rarely talk because they don't yet feel connected. Just because the bodies are in the same room doesn't mean that a child can feel their connection with you. And so one way to promote that connection is to just say, "I've got 5 minutes of special time. I'm so glad you're home. What would you like to do?" And then your child can do what they want. They can feel the shine of your attention, and then later in the evening, maybe at the dinner table or before bed, they will talk about what happened at school. And a really good example of using special time at a time when there's a difficulty in order to repair the connection so that things move forward with that difficulty is a parent who was in one of my groups very early on who said, "I have a 6-year-old, it's like after the very first part of the talk, "I have a 6-year-old and we had a car accident a month ago and it was really a bad accident and 3 of us had to be taken to the hospital in an ambulance and we were all okay. My daughter had a broken ankle, but the cast is off now and she's all right and we're all all right. But she isn't the same little girl. She's really quiet, she's fearful, she's got bad dreams at night, she doesn't want to go to school, and we have a really hard time getting her out of the door in the morning. And I know she needs to talk about it, and I can't get her to talk about it. Every time I mention the accident, she just looks like she doesn't want to be there, and she just ignores it, and she won't talk." And I just said, really the best tool for something like this is special time. The mom went home and tried special time and came back the next week and said, "That special time is something else. I told my daughter, we have a half an hour and I'll do whatever you want to do." And within 5 minutes, she had me lying on the floor and she was the doctor and she was dragging me to the hospital and I was going, no, I don't want to go. And she was laughing and laughing, and then she started giving me shots and I protested and she laughed some more and she gave me, I don't know how many shots, and she was showing me everything she remembered. And this mom felt so much better about the whole situation. It had really brightened her daughter up. Her daughter's whole demeanor was really different after this special time. So the mom kept doing it so the daughter could show her more about what she remembered in the powerful role rather than in the victim role. Special time creates a kind of resonance between you and your child that your child can feel because you're paying your full attention. Whether they look like they're absorbing it or not, they're absorbing it. One last little anecdote. There's a mom who whose child was kind of out of control at school. He was having lots of attention difficulties and lots of impulsive behavior that was getting him in trouble at school. And she herself had a history of impulsive behavior. And I just said, try special time. It's really going to help. So she went home and she came back after the next week and she said, well, I tried special time, but nothing happened. And I said, well, tell me what you did and tell me what happened. She said, well, gosh, I read to my son a lot. And I said, we have 20 minutes and I'm going to give you special time. What would you want to do? And he hopped up and he said, okay, Mom, I want to get naked and I want to climb in bed with you and I want you to read me this story. And he really enthusiastically took off all his clothes and looked really happy and climbed in bed and asked her to get in right next to him. And she got in and they read this story arm in arm. And she said, that wasn't anything. And I actually said, actually it was. It's like he felt safe. He told you exactly how he wanted to be with you. He told you exactly what he wanted you to do. You had your arm around him. It was huge. It was a really good start. It doesn't have to be that your child is all of a sudden wanting to, walk 3 blocks down the street like they never have before. It doesn't matter what they want to do. It matters that they want to do it with you and that you pay attention. It will fill their mind with a good feeling about you.